Undertaker is considering a WWE comeback. We'll talk about it. Plus, we have an update on Brock Lesnar return plans, and multiple WWE legends will be appearing at WrestleMania 40. Find out who in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. Well, that bit you'll find out in a bit. Right now, we'll talk about The Undertaker.
Oh my goodness. So, on his podcast, 6 Feet Under, Undertaker talked about coping with retirement. He said, I knew my time had come, but I wasn't ready for it to come. I just knew that my body couldn't deliver on what my mind and my heart wanted to give the fans. So it was kind of difficult. You have to remember that for over half of my life, being in the ring is what I did. And then it's not there anymore. It leaves a huge void in you. There just may not be something that will ever refill that void. He also went on to reveal how he'd sometimes leave WWE live events he attended post-retirement overwhelmed with the feeling that he should be sort of getting ready for a match. He said he hopes that feeling goes away soon.
Bless him.
Yeah. And
he sounds like he's having a terrible time in retirement.
He talks about it a lot on his podcast as well. And I feel like it's true that I guess if you've done something for so long in your life and then all of a sudden it's not there, something that you're really passionate about and that you love so much and it's just not there, it's got to be difficult. It's got to be difficult just to put it on the shelf and not touch it ever again.
Contrast it with Sting, who retired recently, and I had a chat with Garrett Borden, Sting's son, who played Surfer Sting in that retirement match, and I asked him, what's your dad going to do now he's retired? And Garrett said, well, Sting, my dad, he didn't call his dad Sting, obviously, that'd be really weird. My dad loves gardening, so he's going to get in the garden. He loves the ride on lawnmower.
I like that.
Loves going out on his tractor.
Yeah.
So I think Undertaker should pop round and do some gardening with Sting. That'd be lovely.
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
That'd be a lovely day.
He could bring out the lemonade, couldn't he? He could make the lemonade for Sting.
Oh, look at them two just going, oh, remember that time when we never had a match?
Never had a match, yeah.
Trim. What a day. Hey, look, the big talking point from his podcast from 6 Feet Under is the fact that he came back from Australia, where he'd done a One Dead Man show as part of the Elimination Chamber weekend, and revealed that he was considering a comeback. And despite what he goes on to say, it is something that he hasn't completely shut down the idea of. He says, I may or may not have said to my wife recently that I was going to make a comeback. Don't expect it. There's not one more match. Fortunately, I think I've talked myself out of it.
Which I think
I've talked myself out of it.
And
So you're saying there's a chance?
Oh man, I hope that he has thought about it and thought, actually, let's just leave it as it is. Because I think the Boneyard match was a nice way to cap things off. It felt like a nice way to sort of a nice retrospective for Taker's career as a whole, a nice way to close it out with the kind of match that it was. Obviously, yes, it was a pre-taped COVID match in that era, and it's like you would want that in front of the crowd. And I completely get that from his side of things as well, especially when he's been doing wrestling for so long. But it was a nice way, I felt, to just close things, round things out, close things off, especially with other matches that happened prior where they didn't go the best.
No, you almost don't want to roll that dice again, do you?
Yeah, and
in the event
it's a gamble, I guess, as well, isn't it?
It really is, because that Goldberg-Undertaker match, imagine that had been his last match.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd have been tough.
Yes.
And then that's why he was quite relieved to have the bit with John Cena that he did at WrestleMania.
Yep.
That felt a bit more like a return to form. And then the Boneyard match was great fun. And then he punched Bron Breakker on NXT last year. That was also a lot of fun. So, one we'll keep an eye on. You never say never in the World Wrestling Federation. Brock Lesnar news. What's the latest we know on Brock, Andrew?
So we were speaking about this earlier in the week. Now, after conversations began once more about Brock Lesnar making a WWE return, Aaron Varwell of SES Scoops reported on Twitter he is not being thought of in any creative capacity. No stories, no pictures. His name is not being brought up. After a report of a movement within WWE to bring him back, I asked around and was told there is no movement to bring Brock Lesnar back within WWE. He says, I was explicitly told that no one is going to get involved in that situation. This is a legal issue, and until the lawyers decide that Brock is to be brought back, there's no movement at all or a movement on his behalf.
I don't think that will change until whatever legal issues are currently ongoing.
Yes.
Of course, the allegations from Janelle Grant and the impending lawsuit towards the Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis and WWE. This is the complaint that names Brock Lesnar. Doesn't name Brock Lesnar, sorry, apologies. It names a UFC heavyweight champion, but later revealed to be Brock Lesnar. So whilst that is going on, I guess there's a sense of let's leave that for now.
Yeah, sensible.
And then whatever comes of that, we'll decide from there. Monday Night Raw, we saw Sami Zayn punch his ticket to WrestleMania. He's challenging Gunther for the Intercontinental title. And according to Booker T on the Hall of Fame podcast, Sami wasn't massively happy with the reaction that he got. He said he was so upset about the online heat that he got from the fans. He was like, I thought they loved me. I said, you can't listen to the white noise. You have to think about how great the match was, and you're going to look back on it one day, think that was a really good work that I did, but he was still feeling that heat. And I think I speak for all of us when I say it's not a reflection on Sami Zayn winning the match. It's a reflection on Chad Gable not winning the match.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that felt where the story was going to go. And also, it's to be said that WWE are very much hammering this home that this was supposed to be Chad Gable's moment that was won by Sami Zayn. And it feels as though they're sort of working towards getting Chad in the match in some capacity, I feel like, anyway.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so, because that would be... I would have liked a one-on-one match with Chad and Gunther, so the focus could have been solely on Chad Gable. However, Sami's been doing tremendous work as well, hasn't he, for the longest time too, and it feels like it's nice for him to be involved in that in some capacity as well. And the three of them together, like, if it's anything like the triple threat last year with Gunther, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre,
call the police.
Yeah, exactly. We will have multiple people on standby for that, multiple services on standby, because it would be amazing. And as long as I feel like if Chad was to still get that moment at WrestleMania, all would be good.
The triple threat compromise as well allows you a situation where if you wanted to move Gunther up to the main event bracket, you can do so without Gunther losing a match, as you could have. And it's a bit of a, in my opinion, it's a bit of a sour end to what has been a groundbreaking, record-breaking run for Gunther, to have him lose a belt without losing a belt. I feel like there's the opportunity to make somebody by having them beat Gunther. I think Chad Gable was still the guy. I think what it says to me is they don't put Chad in this match. It says, oh, Gunther's going to just keep on keeping on with the IC title for a little longer.
Yeah, that's what I think. I
don't see Sami Zayn winning the IC title at WrestleMania. I don't get that hunger for the journey that I did with Chad Gable.
No, I completely. I completely agree with you there. Yeah.
Meanwhile, speaking of WrestleMania, a few legends have been revealed as to will be attending the grandest event of the year.
Yeah, PW Insider Elite revealing that 5 legends will be there at WrestleMania 40, and those include Ron Simmons.
Damn.
That was the most half-hearted damn I've ever heard.
I can do a more half-hearted one.
Go.
Damn.
That's better. There we go. Ron Simmons.
Politics.
Kane. Jimmy Hart, Michelle McCool, and JBL are said to be being brought in for it.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
I think always good to see Ron Simmons.
Absolutely.
I hope they do something backstage where he says damn.
And I'm sure they will.
Maybe with Jimmy Hart involved as well.
And possibly JBL as well.
And Michelle McCool.
Not Kane. Okay, not Kane.
Not Kane. Internet exploring with Fraser Porter tonight, 6 p.m. GMT, twitch.tv/Cultaholic. Fraser Porter's brand new show. It's been a lot of fun so far. We keep the ball rolling from 6 o'clock tonight. I'm going to do a real personal plug.
A personal plug?
Yeah.
Go on, plug it.
Right. I'm doing the Great North Run in September.
You sure are.
It's the universe's greatest half marathon. Won't be told otherwise. First time I've ever done it. I ran for an hour today.
An hour?
Did an hour of running today. It's the longest I've ever. I'm 40 years old, and it's the longest I've ever run in my entire life.
That's impressive.
Did a 40. Did a 40. I did a 60-minute run.
That's really, really good.
So with the training starts for it, I'm raising money for the campaign against living miserably. They do incredible work for people suffering from from mental health and showing them that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I'm really proud to be supporting them. If you feel so inclined, I know the times are really tough. If you wish to support in any way, on my Twitter at Tom Campbell, it's near the top of me thing there. You don't have to. You can even just retweet it. That's plenty as it is. Appreciate it immensely. Just thought, since I'm feeling quite glowing since I did a big run.
Yeah, you would do those.
Show off.
Go on.
Go on.
You're allowed to. For a good cause, you're allowed to show off. Go on.
Off to the races we go. Tell me something brilliant you've done this week that's made you smile this week, Andrew Hodkinson.
I have played lots of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and in the story you win. You can. You don't have to, but you can win a card game called Queen's Blood. You can win that tournament, and I won it, and I felt good.
Go on!
And it was tremendous, and that made me smile.
What's the game called? Queenswood?
Queen's Blood is within Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's very good.
Queen's Blood champion.
Not sponsored, but please, Final Fantasy, please Square Enix.
Please, you cowards.
Please, sponsor me.
Queen's Blood champion of Cultaholic, Andrew Hodkinson. And I will have more news for you later. But until then, you can get the latest throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Keys.
I love you, bye.